Hi, I'm Eunice Ocampo Martinez, and I'm presenting on a flipped classroom. So the traditional method of teaching is direct instruction provided by the teacher. It's very teacher-centered. Students passively receive knowledge from their teachers through lecture or direct instruction. End goal is to do well in assessments or projects. So for example, the teacher is in front of the classroom. They deliver the lecture for today. And then the students practice that material at home through homework or projects that they are independently working on. What is a flipped classroom? So a flipped classroom is an instructional strategy and a type of blended learning that reverses the traditional learning environment by delivering instruction content, such as the lecture, often online or outside of class time. It moves activities, including those that may be traditional, been considered homework, into the classroom. Teacher's role is to guide on the side, and it's very student-centered. So as you can see by the image, during class time, they're usually working on an activity, and the students are working either in group or individually, and the teacher's role is to guide them in that activity. So steps to a flipped classroom. The first one is you have to create a video recording. So you're going to turn your lecture into an online video recording. Various tools can be used to do this, Screencast-O-Matic or Screencast apps. There's different apps that you can use in order to make these video recordings of your lectures. Your next step is to share with students. So you're either going to post your lectures online via YouTube, Google Classroom, Blackboard, and there's other apps for teachers that can be used. Your third step is encourage students to prepare, have clear expectations and guidelines. One of the things that I like to include is if they're doing a project, include a rubric. That really does help students understand what they're going to be graded on and what they need to have accomplished by the end. The last step is provide in-class activities. So students should listen to lecture using outside class time. Students should not work on projects during, should work on projects during class time while receiving guidance from the teacher. So some of the benefits, it creates a collaborating learning environment in the classroom. It's student-centered. It promotes students' engagement and promotes ownership of learning. So for example, in the flipped classroom, before class, students accumulate new concepts or terminology by the video recording. During class, they're exploring new concepts through learning activities. This includes peer discussion, one-on-one interaction with teacher. And after class, students continue checking their understanding of the concepts through higher order applications and evaluation. And then one of the great things that I also is they can go back and watch the lecture in case they were missing a part where they just needed some extra help with it. So the way I would compare the traditional and flipped model is using Bloom's taxonomy of learning. So for the traditional model, the remembering and understanding, which is done usually through the lecture, is done in class. And a lot of the outside class time is used for application of the content, analyzing it, evaluating, and creating. So that's done traditionally through homework. Students are learning the material, remembering and understanding it in class, and then they're practicing outside of class time. For the flip model, it's very reverse. So the remembering and understanding is done outside of the class. That's why you have those videos where you record your lecture ahead of time and the students can go on their own pace and going through the videos. In class time, they're working on activities or projects. They're applying the knowledge, they're analyzing it, they're evaluating, they're creating during class time while being guided by a teacher. So how would I use the flip method in my classroom? I will use the flip method along with project-based learning. So project-based learning has different components. It's usually going to start with a question. There's inquiry, where the students do a little bit of research. There's voice and choice, so you want to give students a bit of choice with what they're going to be working on. And they learn as they go, so that this is where the videos can come in or part of the inquiry as well. Then they revise, reflect, and then they present to an audience. So the roles is teacher prepares the questions, does the planning and the researching. So videos can be very much put into that while students are creating, improving, and presenting what they've learned. And that is my presentation on Flipped Classroom.